Welcome to another episode of the Disciple Men Podcast, Spotlight Edition. This here today is going to be a great conversation about something I think that most guys always want to be good at, which is fixing things, okay? Now, if you didn't grow up with your father or if you didn't have somebody teach you how to use certain tools, this can be a touchy situation and something that's really difficult to navigate. But today, I'm bringing on somebody who can help us deal with this thing and kind of start out on the road where we need to and help us move further down there, okay? So, this man today, great carpenter, has been doing it for a very long time. I think right out of high school. Been doing it for a very, very long time. My personal superhero, the man who taught me how to be a man, my guy, my pop, Kevin Starms. How you doing, man?
I'm fine. I'm good.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Yes, this is my father. Yes, this is the man. Help me to see who I am supposed to be as a man. So again, it's good to have you here, man.
It's good to be here.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. So today I wanted to talk to you about something that you've helped me to deal with a lot growing up, which is learning how to fix things. Now, some of these things you would show me, and there's some things you'll sit back and just give me guidance on. And it's been a great help in my confidence and being able to fix things that, sometimes just need to be, repaired around the house and stuff like that. And I think it's a great conversation we can have for the viewing audience here to learn more about this. So if somebody didn't learn how to use tools and wanted to understand more about that, you're a perfect guy to have a conversation with. All right, so
I'm here to help.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that. So first thing, let's talk about some of the basic tools that I think every man should have. If you were to give me 5 basic tools that every man should have in their toolbox, what would that be?
Screwdrivers, a hammer, a scraper, something similar like this.
Okay.
And might as well start getting used to using wrenches and pliers.
Okay. Okay. Good deal. So before we go further in that part of the conversation, help me to understand if I am wanting to buy some quality tools. From your perspective, what are some of the things I'm looking for when I'm shopping through and I see there's one tool that's maybe $1 and another tool that's $5? What's the quality difference you'll be looking for? Let's take a screwdriver, for instance.
Well, the difference is a mile apart.
Okay.
It'll get you started, but if the job itself gets serious, you have to put a little more oomph, a little more torque. You'll see it give up.
Gotcha. So the quality of the strain you can put on the tool, it
Right.
will break or bend depending on how well it's made.
Exactly.
Okay, gotcha. So it's not a ripoff. If you find a tool that's a little bit more expensive, it's probably made for a more professional grade and it can handle the job for a lot longer.
That's true.
Okay.
Now, there's a wide range of tools prices, but just staying in the middle, everybody will be able to do fine.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, that's good to know. Now, another thing that I think is easy to point out or really great to point out would be why would I have different sets of the same tool?
Because there's circumstances.
Okay.
One is reach. The other is the fact that sometimes a shorter screwdriver for number one
Mm-hmm.
just works better in the application.
Okay.
I mean, you sitting on a table, you don't want to be reaching up here trying to take a screw out.
Gotcha.
So you got to have a variety.
Okay. And then even with that variety, I think that if we speak about when we're talking to screwdrivers in particular, the difference between having the regular screwdriver that has just one head on it versus where you can switch out the tips. Tell me those.
The ones with the switch out the tips is more what the pros use.
Mm-hmm.
Because last thing you really want to do when you're doing a job is have to get up to go get another tool.
Gotcha.
You can right there just switch it, but it comes with practice
Mm-hmm.
and knowledge that you know which tips that you need most often on that particular job.
Gotcha. Okay. So, in other words, a variety of tools is what we want to shoot for, but those basic tools you gave us, it's a great starter package, and you just build from there.
That's right. You build from there. And there's a lot of tool kits
Mhm.
that every store sells.
Yes.
And so you just had to compare prices and compare quality but there's kits out there to get started.
Okay, okay. So when we talk about a kit, something like this, people, this is my toolkit that I keep here. Matter of fact, let me give it to you. Bow. There it is. Just I keep this in the car, right? And then I
Mm-hmm.
have my little tough man tool right over here. Get to do the unzippy zip. And then bow. Look at that. Tools. Now, I like to keep these here in the car just because I don't want to keep pulling out the tools out of the house. Something
Well,
get lost or forgotten. And if I need it unexpectedly, I've always
mm-hmm.
got it ready.
Yeah, that's a good plan. The rule really is, or should be, that you got a toolbox or a small amount of tools in every primary location you're at: car, house,
Gotcha.
garage. It's just like uh, being at easier reach
Hmm.
allows you just to get done quicker.
Gotcha. Gotcha. That best tool is the one you got at your hand, basically, right?
Yeah.
At the reach. I got you. I got you. That makes good. That makes it good for us, man. Okay, so for someone who's completely new to tools, what's the best way to start learning from your perspective? Would it be like YouTube classes, hands-on practice? From your standpoint and the time you've had being in the carpentry field, how does somebody get started best?
Get started best is by watching.
Hmm.
You need to watch somebody that you know, or somebody, a friend might be handy.
Okay.
You might want to just stay there and learn a trick or two. But classes is that's still available
Okay.
these days. But somebody showing you. Most people are visual people.
Hmm.
All right, and if they see you, then they get the confidence where they might ready to try it themselves.
Okay. Now, would you suggest, let's say, like Lowe's or Home Depot, they have like Saturday classes, something like that?
I recommend that.
Okay.
Yes, that's very helpful, and I think that's good. It shows that they want to, let alone sell you the product,
Hmm.
but teach you how to use it and also to use it confidently.
Okay. Gotcha. Gotcha. Well, that's good to know. That's good to know because again, I've been in that trying to figure it out mode, and I tell you, you're grasping at straws, and you've been a lifesaver, but
Hmm.
everybody doesn't have a person like you that they can call. So I like that we have these options out there for people to learn. I don't want to negate YouTube, YouTube University. I'm telling you that. You Google something, search something. Usually somebody has some sort of tutorial.
Yes,
They went through and repaired something and have some great footage of them actually getting it done step by step. I think that's a great way to learn as well.
and I think it's also a good way to learn what not to do.
Yes, yes. I've actually seen demonstrations of things, and
Hmm.
it looks very professional. And then you go look at the comments, and there's people like, "That's how you don't do it. Don't ever try this. Do never." And it's like, wow, okay, I thought it looked pretty smooth, and dude knew what he was doing. And you got people who were actually like you, had been in the field, are like, mm-mm, mm-mm.
Well, that's what my own children have taught me. You read the reviews, you
Yeah.
read the comments, but that's part of your learning, trying to make sure that you do it once,
Hmm.
do it confidently, then you're proud of yourself when you do get it done.
Yeah, yeah. Those are called man points. Okay, you feel like you got a couple points in, you get something fixed. I think it was the biggest thing when I had a drip that was going on in the kitchen, and I remember having to make a call to you. And you kind of talked through a couple things on the phone, and I was able to stop the drip. And I was like, all right, couple man points. I feel like I grew a little bit.
Yes, you be a hero.
At least to myself, you know what I'm saying? And your kids too. Your kids will think you're a hero. That's why I always think he's my Superman. Trust me. This is one of the many reasons. But anyway, keep. Many men feel embarrassed about not knowing about tool skills. Uh, what advice would you give them about starting late? So, in other words, I'm 20, 25. I've never picked up a hammer. And then some people would think, well, you should know these things.
That's well, this today's generation is not completely uh, versed, mainly because the school systems have changed. Used to
Okay.
be trade classes, shop classes they used to call 'em back in the day. at the
Mm-hmm.
high schools you have, but with budgeting cuts and stuff like that, that was just first one to take the hit. But you should take the time. Everybody wants to learn something,
Yeah.
all right? And once you take your time, you'd be surprised the adrenaline rush, the feel good, the happiness at yourself that you've done something with your hands
Yeah.
and created something. It's almost like a piece of art.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Feel like Dr. Frankenstein. It's alive. I got you. I got you. That's good to know, man. I do remember we did have one of the last shop classes when I was in school.
Hmm.
Mr. Casey, we had him.
Yes,
He was your
Mr.
teacher
Casey.
too.
Yes, Mr. Casey.
Yes, yes, yes. I remember building my first lamp there, and we
Hmm.
had to bend sheet metal and then wire up the connector for the bulb and everything, and actually had to cut the wood, to kind of run everything through as its base and everything. I felt like I could do anything after finishing that.
And you just did 3 trades by just creating the lamp.
Awesome. Awesome. And I hate that they don't have that part of their curriculum because it was so beneficial and helping me see just how much you can do on your job now. I'm like, oh, I get a peek at this now. Just doing
Hmm.
this one task is very empowering. Very
Yeah,
empowering.
yes, it is. Not everybody's made for college.
Hmm.
There's something about getting your hands dirty. There's plenty of satisfaction.
Now, you know what? That's a great thing, and that's actually one of my next questions I wanted to ask you. Is I want to talk about the skills trade field. Um, there is this big push ever since I was even in high school of get to college, go to college, go to college, learn a skill, go to college. But like you were just saying, that's not for everybody. Some people do not want to go that route, and they look to skills trade. That's carpentry. That's metal work. That's plumbing. Talk to me about those fields and how a person can actually make a living doing that.
Well, just realize that this country was put together by tradesmen.
Hmm.
All the buildings, the streets, highways, automobiles, people with a skill put these items together
Hmm.
for our disposal. And there's nothing like, well, since beginning of time, we had to find shelter. That's the first carpenter.
There you go.
You had to build your shelter.
Hmm.
Shelters improved, it became houses, let alone moving on to skyscrapers and other tall buildings. But doing that, you put yourself in a dependable mode. You put yourself in a position where there's obstacles that you can't overcome
Hmm.
by getting into a trade.
Gotcha, gotcha. Now we're talking about some lucrative jobs you can actually have doing these trades.
Yes,
I mean, easily you can be doing 100,000 just by being a plumber, just
yes.
by being a carpenter. These aren't small bills, you know.
And then they also got certain groups. Let's just say you're in the technology. Uh, somebody's running these cables. You see those trucks that they're pulling the little trailer behind it,
Hmm.
and they're working inside, tying all the homes. They're doing all that uh, software work.
Yeah.
These people even make more money on the hour
Mm, mm, mm,
than
mm.
your standard electrician.
Yeah.
So you can become a specialist. Just like one of the things I do, besides being a carpenter where I work, I'm a locksmith.
Okay.
Now, uh, when you say locks, people think about locking keys in the car. Well, that's not the only locks. You got locks on your front doors, you
Hmm.
got locks on your desk, and a lot of them will wear out, break, and need to be changed. That's where I come in.
So let me get this right. You're actually removing the lock out of some of these things and just replacing the lock itself.
That, or I can pick a lock to get them inside to
Oh
get
man,
their items, and
that's cool.
you talking about bringing a smile to
That
faces.
oh, that's cool.
Especially when there was a lady who had locked her purse in her desk.
Hmm.
She couldn't get home.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So I had to do my little jumping out of the phone booth thing and unlock that drawer.
Gotcha,
All
gotcha.
right. So, other than being grateful that I was able to help somebody,
Hmm.
they was really ecstatic.
I bet, I bet. I have locked myself out of a car a couple times, and yeah, there's no more defeating moment where you're like, I see the keys. They're right there on the seat,
Mhm.
not in my hand, and this door is locked. Yeah.
What are we going to do?
And you're like, if I break this window, I now have two problems. Okay, so that can't be the answer. So yes, definitely the locksmith thing is super important.
Yeah.
All right, good deal, good deal. So let's say if somebody wanted to move from doing do-it-yourself projects in the home and actually moving into doing that for a career, what would you suggest them to do as a starting point to kind of move them down that direction in careers?
Well, as far as careers go, you need to kind of, once you define what trade you like to go into, you need to find a job with those people
Okay.
and learn all that you can learn. Because there's so-called tricks of the trade
Yeah.
that are not in books.
Right.
All right, and you gain that knowledge by working with other people, different places,
Hmm.
and they'll show you how to make a hard job easier.
I could believe that. I could believe that they've done it so many years, and it's like, oh, you know what? I have a better way of doing that.
Yes.
Let me show you this little bitty thing that'll save you hours of time or knee pain, stuff like that.
Right. Things evolve. We don't do just like we don't have the same type of cars that we had 10 years ago.
Hmm.
We actually don't drive. Well, you got a hammer now, but today it's screws.
Hmm.
So it's more of a drill effect than
Gotcha.
driving nails when trying to build things now.
Okay. Okay. Oh, so really, it's not many knocking in hammers if you don't have to. They do more screw things in.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Didn't know that. I'm thinking more like a nail gun or something like that for those quicker things. But
Well, they do that, but that's only for certain applications.
gotcha.
Screws are quicker and hold longer.
Learned something new today. Cool. Okay, wait. Explain that real quick. You said hold longer. What do you mean by that?
Well, the way that spiral part of the screw
Mm-hmm.
grabs the wood and it won't move. Versus
Gotcha.
versus a nail, if it has most nails are from a nail gun have a coating of glue on it.
Mm-hmm.
Over time, the glue just breaks down.
Mm. Okay. Okay. I didn't even think that was even a thing, man. Interesting conversation. Thank you for pulling that out. Because again, if you don't get involved in certain things, you don't even understand just why certain tools are made certain ways and why they're better for certain tool jobs that are needed than others.
Right.
So I'm gonna ask one other question because now that I got you on camera, and this is kind of what I do at times. I just ask these random questions. I know there's a thing between nails, wood nails, ceramic nails, like you put in drywall and stuff like that. If I was to ask you the difference between those three types of nails, what would you say?
Well, they're moving away from nails, and the thing that's used now is screws. Drywall goes up with screws.
Okay. Wow. Learn something new every day. Okay, cool. So even in the wood stuff, then we're talking about putting together homes and such like that.
And building decks, if it's screwed together, it will stay together longer than the nail.
Mm. Okay. See, this is an update even for me, man. So this
Mhm.
has been educational still for me even today, man. That's really good. That's really good. So, in other words, if I was to say you had a chance to look in the camera and talk to that young person who's starting down this pathway, who's unsure about it, what advice would you give them and motivation to keep moving forward?
Well, the best advice I would say is get with a organization, peer group, your church, uh, that are doing something for youth as far as broadening their education, but also giving them confidence to try new things, even if it's baking. If they can teach you how to be a cook, you can be the star chef when it's all said and done if you put your mind and body into it.
Okay, gotcha. Well, hey, Pop, I appreciate the conversation. I know that people starting out today watching this thing will a little bit more confident starting out this pathway and help them see that this is a journey.
Yes, it is. Do it yourself brings nothing but confidence because then you can go move on to a bigger job.
Hmm. Good deal. Good deal. Well, hey, thank you all for joining us today on the Disciple Men Podcast, Spotlight Edition. This is my father, Kevin Starms. Appreciate you lending your knowledge to us and your expertise. And
Anytime, anytime.
look forward to doing a lot more conversations around this thing because I can see more that's coming. We'll talk off camera about this stuff, but I got some things in mind. We may be doing some do-it-yourself projects together. Film it, show you that whole process. I got some ideas.
Hmm.
All right, cool. Well, hey, catch you all in the next one. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe, and we'll catch you in that next video. Peace.
Peace.
Thank you again for joining us on the Disciple Men Podcast. We hope that you got something out of the conversation, that we brought some value to you. We're trying to do something over here, and we need your help to do that. If you could, please like and subscribe. Share the video with a couple friends. We want to make sure to get this word out. Help us men to step up to the road we're trying to do for the family, for God, for the community. We need your support. Look forward to you in the next one.